unbelievable story captured the nation's attention as few cases do.
I woke up with severe pain on my right side. My mom's not responding, no one's responding, and I can't move my eyes.
She was trapped inside her own body.
Every parent's worst nightmare.
I could see in her face she didn't know who I was.
Doctors thought I was doing it for attention.
Their story should be a warning to us all. It's the most horrific feeling in the world. Victoria's parents watched her shut down.
They don't know that I'm locked in.
There's nothing worse than watching your child deteriorate in front of your eyes.
You need to accept the fact that your child is going to die. My biggest fear was that I would be given up on.
I said, I can't do this alone.
Every moment was just about surviving.
That was the reality for 4 years.
That's when things changed forever.
They didn't understand what was going on.
Each night, I would be terrified that I wouldn't wake up the next day.
I was losing her.
Everything that happened to me could have been prevented.
So how did this happen?
The Victoria you knew is not coming back.
We thought this is how it's going to be forever.
How did you know that something was wrong?
I'd be trying to walk around the house and my right foot was dragging and the pain was getting worse. And the doctors thought I was doing it for attention because they couldn't figure it out. It all could have been prevented by a single dose of steroids. By the time I became unresponsive, it was too late for anything. Within 2 weeks, my legs were gone, and all I remember is going into an ambulance.
Victoria regained consciousness after nearly 3.5 years in a vegetative state. She could see and hear, but she couldn't communicate.
I literally was a prisoner, and wherever my eyes were, I could see, but I couldn't control them. There's no worse feeling than being aware, but not being able to communicate or give your family any sign that you're in there. My biggest fear was that after a while, I would just kind of be given up on. I had to prepare for the possibility of dying. I remember this doctor walking in and saying to my mom, that's it, she's gonna die, you need to accept that.
I fell to my knees, and I just handed it over. I said, I can't do this alone.
All the while, the doctors are realizing that these seizures are getting worse and worse, so they tried to knock me out with a sleeping medication. For the first time in a 1.5 years, my body wasn't seizing every single moment of every single day. And so I realized that I had my eyes.
And so then I just looked in her face, and there was this calmness for the first time.
She just kind of took it in and then said, if you can hear me, can you blink? And I just kept blinking, and I just looked at her and kept blinking, and then she freaked out, and then she called my dad and was like, she's in there, she's in there.
She just turned, and she smiled. And we just latched. I knew she was in there. It was the most incredible day of my life. It was like a miracle.
I just looked up and I saw my family. And it was the first time I saw my family cry tears of joy. For all of us, it was a symbol of we're okay. We're gonna be okay. That was the moment when I really kind of became determined to survive. It was breath by breath at times, and I think it was just, how do I get to the next day? How do I have another moment? How do I get back to my family? And so it just became this job to live. I had to relearn everything. So from the simplest of wiggling one finger to another finger.
In less than a year, you go from being able to track your mother with your eyes, track your mother with your eyes, to
going to school.
back in school.
Yeah, I mean, I was rolling around in a wheelchair, and I still had a lot of deficits, but I was talking. I was just trying to find normalcy. This awakening was a miracle, but I had irreversible damage to my spinal cord, and that I would be paralyzed the rest of my life.
And I said, don't you ever let anybody tell you you can't do something that you can do. I said, if you want to do this, we'll go for it.
And November of 2015, we felt a flicker in my right hip flexor. At this point, it was almost a decade that I'd been paralyzed, and so the likelihood, the chances of that were slim to none. And it was just a twitch, but for me, I was like, that's a spark. Very quickly, we started channeling more and more muscles firing. Almost 10 years to the day, I took one step, another step, then started walking. Fall of 2016, got rid of all my leg braces and crutches for good. And then I was back on my feet.
I couldn't be any more proud as a parent to think that I have a child that is giving hope.
Victoria Arlen,
Our next guest has a story nothing short of miraculous. Author, actress, swimmer.
Paralympics gold medalist. Then you go on Dancing with the Stars.
So 2 years ago, you were in a wheelchair, paralyzed from the waist down.
Yes.
And now, not only are you out of that wheelchair and walking, you're dancing.
Yes.
As a parent, I think about what your parents must have experienced.
When the music picked up and she started to dance, it was... I can't even...
To make them proud is my goal every single day. Thank you for never giving up on me and for believing in me. When things get tough and when we go through tough things, it's very easy to give up. It's very hard to hold on when you don't see a way out. And so my parents just held on, and as a result, I held on.
When life hits back at you, when these unwelcomed and unexpected challenges test you, when that happens, you can either let these obstacles pull you down, or you can stop, take a deep breath, take a moment to find things in your life that you have to be grateful for. And when you do that, when you focus on what you still have, you will find that it creates hope, hope that tomorrow will be just a bit better than today. And when you take that hope, I believe you will find yourself back on the path to living out your dreams.